Hello Internet! In this video I wanted to solve a minor problem I've been having with code by creating a Chrome extension to solve this stupid problem. I'll explain the purpose of this after we do a demo of what the problem is. Here at this website you click login, it will take you to this page. You have to wait for this timer to complete before you can actually log in. Upon inspecting this in the Chrome console, open the Chrome console, you can click this button here, click that button, it will take you to that in the HTML. In this case, we can see the input has disabled. If I get rid of that and press enter, the button becomes enabled and you can click it and log in. I want to create a Chrome extension that will programmatically do this for me. So, we'll do that. And the whole reason for doing this tutorial, even though it's such a trivial example, is that it just shows you what you can do if you know how to code. You can basically make the web do what you want and make it work for you and customize things. So a really basic example here, but we'll do this. So we need to keep track of this. This is the ID of this input. This is called G button. If we come over to the Chrome console will actually allow us to execute JavaScript on the web page. And we can get the information about this. So if we call document, what we're going to do is we are going to use some basic DOM manipulation to change the button, like we just did. So what I need to do is I need to say get element by ID, pass in the ID, and then I can set the property disabled to true or false. Now at the moment, it's not disabled. We can see that here. It says continue to my account. If I set this to true, press enter, suddenly it's become disabled and you can't click it. Obviously, we can do the exact opposite and set it to false. Now, what I'm going to do is create this Chrome extension that is going to disable this page, right? So it's going to disable this. Well, it's going to disable the disabledness of the input, so we can actually enable the input and click the input. There we go. So we need this bit of code here. We're going to steal that, and we're going to create the code. Now, at the moment, I've just got a basic directory set up. Nothing in there at the moment. To create a Chrome extension, we're actually going to need to create two files in this particular example. One is called manifest.json, and the other one is called content.json. It doesn't have to be called content.json. I'm just going to call it content.json. It is a content script. So the manifest.json file is a JSON file, as you would expect. It takes some basic information. It's going to basically, it's metadata about our extension. We need to do this, otherwise Chrome will moan. So I'm going to call this disabler. This is useful if you're going to be putting this on the Chrome web store. Some of these things really aren't required for this particular example, but they're just things I'm going to do because I'm not sure which ones that Chrome will moan about, so I might as well just do the ones that I know I can get away with putting it in. So description feels quite useful. We can say an extension to remove the wait time to log in on the website. Geeks on. The next thing we're going to need to do is notice that I've already got an error here. It's moaning. There we go. I want to specify the manifest version of 2. I really have no idea about the manifest versions. I just know that every Chrome extension I've ever used has used manifest version 2, so I'm going to do that. And again, I've put an error. That needs to be closed off. What we then need to do is we need to run a content script. Now, with Chrome extensions, you can run background scripts that pretty much run everywhere, or you can run something called a content script, which will run on specific websites, so you can get it to match the URLs. And that's what we want for this one, because we only want it to run on a single website. We don't want it to mess up other websites that we use. So, content scripts. This is an array of objects. So, create a little array of objects. Let's close that off before I forget. So, matches. This is what URLs it matches. So, in this case, I want to give it an array just with a single string, and this is going to be basically some regex that's going to match all of the Gixon domains. So it'll be like this, .gixon.com/* just to get all the pages, because they might change the page and then the extension will break. So I want to make this as loose as possible, but specify that it is only on the Gixon page that we want this to run. Our JavaScript is going to be called content.js, which is that file that we've already created. Does that look okay? Why is it moaning about that? Oh, it's not moaning about that anymore. Okay, that's fine. So that's all we need for the manifest. Let's close this off and go to the other file. So now we're in the content script. This is going to be the most hilariously simple bit of code you've ever seen. So say use strict, even though really it doesn't matter for this. We're going to say function enable, and then in enable we are just going to paste that code that we created earlier. Document get ID, element by ID, get the ID, disabled, false. Well, that will do that. And then of course we need to call this. So what we can do here is just call enable. So what's going to happen is when we load this Chrome extension, when we go to the website Gixon, it's going to run this bit of code. It's going to execute this function. This function's here. This function is just going to disable that, or enable that button, should I say. That's all saved and all good. So the next thing we need to do, we don't need to do any gubbins, any zipping or anything. We can just load it directly from the source folder. So if we go over to Chrome, go to extensions, developer mode, load unpacked. I need to find what it's called. I think it's called Gixon. There we go. Source, select that. It's going to load that. You can see it's got our title there, our name, our version, and our description. And then, if we were to come back to this cheeky little page over here, and we were to refresh it, so it will reload the 60-second timer, you'll notice here that this 60-second timer is not disabled. We can just click it straight away. If we were to just get rid of the extension, turn it off a second, refresh the page, what's going to happen? Oh, look at that! It's disabled again. And if I enable it, it won't suddenly start working, I don't think, because we'll have to refresh the page for it to actually execute the script. But there we go. That's a really simple video, creating a very basic Chrome extension, solving a very specific niche problem. I doubt anyone will actually want to watch this video, but if you do, there we go. Ta-ta for now, arrivederci.